Welcome back to Barneyjmusic. My name is Barney, classical composer and the founder and director of Barneyjmusic. In today's episode of Harmony for the General Public, we're going to piggyback off of the first two episodes. If you haven't already watched them, we had Harmony is the Story, in which I talked about the tonic, and then we had, I think it's called Burning Desire, in which I talk about the dominant. If you did watch those videos and you're a little bit rusty, it's totally okay, because I'm going to brush up on those concepts today. What I just played is a very standard kind of formula, okay, or like a recipe from which a ton of music has been built. Let me play it again. So the tonic, like we previously talked about, is the sense of home. And usually, whatever the first chord we play in a piece, without any other context, we would assume that it's going to be the home. And then it gets confirmed over time. For example, we started somewhere and we end up back at the same place. Let's do it one more time. Now, the tonic is intimately linked with the dominant, which is a chord that finds its existence through the polarity of the tonic. I know that makes no sense. Let me show with music. Do you hear that music? Do you hear how it feels suspended? Like it feels weird to end the piece there. Let me play that again. Right? Something's going to happen. Well, that sensation, if you're able to perceive it, and again, if you can't, it could just be because this is a recording, the sound quality, I don't know. But you would have to hear it live to really feel those vibrations. The vibrations, right? That is called the dominant, okay? So we have the tonic and the dominant. And I like to think of the dominant here, kind of lifted in air. It's kind of like life and death. It's kind of like life. And then think of the tonic, which is the resolution, as death. Okay, and no, I was not the first one to come up with this analogy, so don't even go there. Another way to think of the dominant is as seeing a beautiful person, like in terms of love, like, oh my God. I mean, like, where your heart stops and everything just like, you don't know who you are anymore, right? That kind of like, oh my God, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? And of course, that doesn't remain forever. Something has to happen. Either you approach the person, you see them, I don't know what happens. You feel rejected, but it ends. I made a little boo-boo there, but it was actually quite musically interesting. Let me just do that again. So we're listening for that kind of sense of life, like, oh my God, like you're frozen in time. That's what it's like to be on the dominant. Okay, so listen. I'm going to improvise again, and I was hoping are you starting to hear this aspect of the dominant? I'm going to play it again, and when I get to the actual dominant, I'm going to like nod my head just so it's super clear for everyone, and just I'll improvise, but just notice that there's this like suspenseful feeling. Were you able to hear this, what I'm talking about, that sense of suspensefulness? And that sense of suspensefulness comes from the fact that we have another chord that feels stable in relationship to that suspenseful chord. And that is what we call the fundamental relationship. Now, I don't know if it's been called that in that way before, but it's the fundamental relationship. Okay? Please let me know if this doesn't make sense. Let me know if it doesn't make intellectual sense. It could be, these things take time. Okay, so don't feel stressed out. If you feel stressed out, you need to relax. Okay, so you can't be forcing yourself to learn here. It's not going to work that way. And if the musical examples go too quickly, let me know. I don't know what I can do for now because I don't fully know my audience. But, if I don't hear anything, I'll assume that the pacing is fine. So just let me know otherwise. But then it'll seem like I only get complaints. Well, whatever. You get what you get. Now, so we have the fundamental relationship of tonic to dominant. And I'd now like to do a real example, meaning actual music from Help Us on the Way. Okay, Help Us on the Way for orchestra is my first orchestral work. It's in 5 movements or adventures. And this will be from the first movement, A Safe Home. Many of you who have been following the channel are very familiar now with this opening. But listen, when you hear it for orchestra, you're like, whoa. That was a tonic. That was a tonic. Let me play again. It doesn't matter that stuff is moving on the top, underneath. That's the story. I think I talked about this, gave this specific example in the previous episodes, so I won't hammer it home too much. But the thing to understand is what's going on the surface is blah, 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 blah. Okay, we have to look beneath the surface. That is what harmony is. It's like the essence. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Play one more time, and I'm going to continue on. I may play faster than the actual real tempo just to get to what I want to get to. Notice that the harmony has not changed, okay? What changed? Well, a lot, because the energy changed. It got very violent, very anguished, just so much. You can only imagine with a real orchestra. But let me play Beneath the Surface. Now let me play what the actual music is. So don't be fooled by what's beneath the surface. Really, what's happening is this. And that, in relation to the tonic, it feels super, super suspenseful. It's like we're, oh my God, oh my God.